So tell us how the name Robin came about.
Oh, so Robin is I used to go by the solo artist named Cortez, and that's like my middle name basically. And I wanted to trademark my name and stuff like that and just kind of make it an actual brand. And I realized when I went to go do that it was already taken by quite a few other artists and businesses. And so I just thought it was a perfect time to rebrand. And whenever when I was a kid, my family's favorite like superhero was like Batman and stuff. So I was like Robin. So I just spelled it with an X and a Y to kind of differentiate how it was presented to the public. But it's really just that. It's like me keeping my roots, keeping my childhood, my innocence, my family with me.
Oh, okay. That's a very good answer. I mean, most people, they just kind of pick a name and they go with it because it's cool. It's good when it has a backstory.
Well, that too, yeah. It looks cool. It's hard to
Speaking of
say.
backstory, I dug into yours a little bit, and I came across the artist Cortez. Can you tell me about?
Yeah. Cortez was a time in my life where I was almost, it feels like a different person. Like I said, wanted to be a solo artist, and I didn't want to go by my government name anymore. And in 2000, like mid 2016, I decided to go by my middle name just to kind of rebrand, get like a different image out there. At the time I had like blonde hair, but that's all it was. Cortez was just like my way of introducing myself as a pop R&B artist.
Yeah, we all go through like growing pains as artists, and eventually we kind of figure out what we're going to do and we stick with it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found something that you're happy with.
You and me both.
So tell me about when you first started and what that was like. Like, what drew you to music and completing that first song?
Oh, wow. I think for me, what it was, so I have like musically inclined family members. We're all very creative. We write or we sing or we rap. And so I was always around that, but I actually couldn't sing or rap or do anything. And I watched my mom and my older sister and even my little sister like just do all these amazing things with their voices and their production skills and stuff like that. And I was like, wow. And I remember the first song I ever made was kind of this like Disney-esque Hannah Montana camp rock type song. And it was about like, I think like having a better days and like moving on and like getting up and not wanting to go to school, but like powering through it, or I don't know what the hell I was talking about. But I didn't have any instruments. I couldn't play anything. So I just wrote the lyrics and I would sing it to myself whenever I was doing my chores. And yeah, I don't remember the name of it like I used to, but I think I still remember the words, and I will never forget that song. So it just felt like finally doing something, like, I don't know, like finally becoming something that I've always wanted to be. I felt like I was those Disney kids I used to see on TV.
Well, if you ever decide to share with the world your first song when you're a multi-platinum artist, I think you should come show it off first where we started at.
We'll see. I don't think it's worthy of.
Okay. Well, I mean, speaking of your music, I've been fortunate enough to take a listen, and it's so funny because you're so naturally gifted and you're going with such an electronic route.
Thanks.
I just want to know what influenced that.
A lot, like you said, like a lot of the project is very electronically influenced, and it's because I realized when I took a break from social media and stuff back, like a couple months ago, and not so long ago, and I went through like a lot of things, and it's like the second time that I've done that, and I realized when I was gone that everyone that knew me, that didn't see me every day, felt the need, like I feel like they didn't know me anymore, like I was neglecting them or being like shady and stuff like that because they didn't see me post anything. And I was like, why do we live our lives by these like standards of social media and these like social rules that don't really exist and stuff like that? So I wanted to take this new route in that kind of, with that in mind, like kind of taking everything from the perspective of like if we were actually fully like that. Like, of course, we still communicate and we can still talk to each other and things like that. But I wanted to know what it'd be like or what it would sound like if everything I had that I felt was in the form of a machine. Because that's what we act like now. It's so weird getting online, and it's like there's like a formula for everything, and everything is calculated, and everyone has an opinion and a voice and this and that, and that's all great. But I feel like we use that in the wrong way sometimes. So that's really
most definitely the internet is becoming like. It's vital. Like, you cannot do anything without having to use the internet.
At
it feels like.
all. It's crazy. And I feel like it's like, we're approaching that decade mark. And it like, I'm seeing all over Twitter, it's like me a decade ago versus now. And I'm like, I love these transformations, but it's like, do you even think like about what we were doing a decade ago? Could you really be doing what you're doing now a decade ago? It's like crazy. Like now we have to be on the internet and we have to do these things if we want to be any kind of successful.
But the internet isn't exactly the worst thing possible because it's also the place where your music could take off.
That's true. It's like it's a hate love relationship for sure.
Well, just say if like one of your singles or your album took off, where do you think you would fit in today's group of artists?
Um. Oh wow. I don't think I've ever been able to answer this question really well. Even when I had like a different artist name and stuff, I really just make things according to what I like and what I'm hearing that like inspires me, and it's so many different things. I probably put myself in the like a more R&B-esque version of the Troye Sivan, like I don't even know the pop artists of today, the electronic pop artists, the Troye Sivans and the Ashford S's and the even Thompsons. There's so many underground artists that I love. Oh my gosh, and that's a lot of where the sound comes from. It's this alternative sound that I discovered years ago listening to.
So what I'm hearing is like you're hoping to make it, but you don't want to be like icon, ginormous.
Kind of. I mean, I think everybody wants to make it, but my goal really is to just
Make a living off it, right? Like
kind of. I just want, if I can literally do what I love doing, which is this every day, and support my family, like give myself a happy life, and you know, my mom a house and things, like that's fine with me. I don't really need, you know, billions upon billions of dollars. I feel like in some aspect that's what ruins people's perspective of what this is, and people forget that you're human when you have that stuff.
well, those are very humble goals. I kind of want to give the people a little insight on your next single you have. I've been fortunate enough to listen to it already.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the production and the lyrics you created for Robin.
So, the first it was really it still is really hard picking the first single. I always have so much trouble doing that because I never know like what route to take and like what people are going to resonate with, but it's production wise, like you said, it's very electronically produced, but it's still got a lot of that hip hop R&B flair to it. It's very Juice World, Post Malone meets Britney Spears. I don't know how to explain it, but it's still, I try to keep the modern aspect of it because I do love that sound so much, but you know, I just it's very simple, but the single, it has like real guitars on it that I played myself, and real piano that I played myself. Like I wanted it to sound authentic, but still have that polished and perfect production on it. So it's really just, you'll hear that it's pretty simple sounding, but it's so much that goes into that. That's all I can really say about it that I think would suffice.
Well, you heard it first on Black Glass. You get the little insight on the artist. Make sure to stay tuned because we got a couple more questions for Robin, and then we're going to get a live performance and a little review of a video.
Yeah.